Before anyone freaks out, I just want to let you know, yes, I am returning to YouTube, and yes, there is an official announcement video coming soon, but for now, just enjoy the goddamn video, alright? Have fun. Everyone needs a hero, but are these guys actually strong enough to save the day?
I'm the man, I got the plan. When it hits the fan, do all I can, do all I can.
Welcome, pranksters and subscribes, to another deck review, the place you go to find a new strategy or to see if that one person at Locals is playing a viable deck. Today's subject under the spotlight is a fan favorite from the GX era of Yu-Gi-Oh! That has constantly morphed and adjusted over the years. Today, we will confer on heroes. But before we commence with these proceedings, be sure to take a look at the description at the end of the video for links to everything I'm involved in, including the Havre Creator Cast, all of my social media links, other channels like Team Chaos Stream that I'm also involved in, and the other creators that I am involved with. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy this channel's content. Without further delay, let's move on with this video. To initiate, this review will start with the deck breakdown, followed by the pros and cons of playing this strategy, and then into each of the individual numerical values until we land on a final decision of where this deck stands in the current meta game. So continuing on, the deck breakdown will be left short and sweet. Heroes are, well, heroes. The amount of brute force they put out is tremendous, but as per usual comic book style, they find themselves in trouble very often. It can be easy enough for them to break free from any traps they fall into, but sometimes their story doesn't have a happy ending either. Now for the pros and cons of playing on the good side, on the surface these brave warriors shine in one big bright light. In a duel, these feisty saviors pour out everything they have for one big sweep to clean up the mess plaguing whatever city they are trying to save after their foes have already made preparations and set up defenses. Some of their maneuvers can prove effective to getting past the enemy's barriers and landing a finishing blow in one final battle. However, when the candles are out, there are a few noteworthy details of these champions that are not as useful for saving the day. Heroes gladly boast their strength in the battlefield, but that brawn means little when there is little brain to back it up with. Their battle strategy causes fatigue to the enemies from a state of boredom and expectable style. Taking to the trenches and digging deeper, we will open into the consistency of this deck. Earning a rank of 8 out of 10, heroes are well known for their ability to open up many combo starters. With cards like Stratos, Vion, Emergency Call, and A Hero Lives, it is near impossible to have a complete brick of a hand, and much more likely to be allowed to play the game with the more simplistic but effective strategies. This deck's hands are great for going all in, and most of them only need one card to get started since many of the cards search out each other, including several of the monsters in the extra deck. While the plays are consistent enough to make, they aren't always enough to play through Disruption. Sometimes just a single Ash Blossom or Impermanence can be enough to stop the Magnificent Fighters. If those two do not prove to be menacing enough against the strategy, a rock from outer space is sure to put them into extinction, just like the dinosaurs. With so many of the shields being unavailable for these heroes to wield, they have to wish the best for themselves, as they only have a rating of 6.5 out of 10 for resistance. Pack-a-Punch would seem weak when compared to these robust exemplars. Their strength, while not enough to compensate for lack of strategy, is incredibly strong nonetheless, and stars 9 out of 10 in its category. Their ability to close out a match swiftly is astonishing when the pathway is clear to do so. Beating over a powerful creature is no feat for these brawlers either. With cards like Elemental Hero Sunrise and Vision Hero Trinity, high attack values are a norm within this playstyle, and they can very well tackle any barriers in their way. Even with all of the strength they can muster, these protagonists are not usually fast enough to catch their villain in the act, and they are more commonly allowed to slip through their fingers for their evil scheme. Their ability to disrupt only tailors them a score of 6.5 out of 10. With the darkness evolving into the way of the hero, Dark Law is typically the only form of order this deck will create. Beyond that, this deck can be capable of playing a few hand traps to stymie the opposing player, as well as building walls of Evil Hero Malicious Bane, and Elemental Hero Absolute Zero with a mask change ready to change him into a Mass Hero Acid. These plays can be incredible enough to stop the opponent from reaching their goals of victory, but realistically, this deck is better at following after whatever their foe may offer. A straight line is the path of the hero, however, they do allow for some small curves in the road. When faced with conflict, these saviors will do their best to rise to the occasion. Unfortunately, they do not always make it through, and they very well can lose the battle if they do not have the proper forces available to survive. It is for this reason they are only flexible 7 out of 10 situations. In certain cases, forbidden tools are what the warriors require to march onward and battle with enough strength to be the victor. The aid of their fellow brethren may also assist in the fight for peace. However, without the necessary equipment to aid them in the many endeavors they will face, triumph will not likely be in their favor, and they very well may face their downfall repeatedly. With the destruction and havoc wreaked upon cities and civilizations, these friends are not so friendly to most wallets. Unless you call for the B-list heroes that still perform fairly effectively but are a fraction of the cost, and a fraction of the potential they could have achieved in this section. With their score resting at a firm but disappointing 7 out of 10, you can definitely hope to aim for better in the future. Depending on the route you choose to go down when saving the city, either option will provide what you need. Only some will do it slightly better than others. Use caution when picking them out of the lineup to build your team. So, to round things off, the overall score of all of these sections combined together and then divided by 6 results in a net score of 7.3 out of 10. While these brethren in arms may not always meet the standards of society and the power level of their villains, they can still be an opportunity for success in the battle to be the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Always remember to test these decks via online simulator or proxies before investing your wallet into them. In the end, I feel you will find yourself fulfilled with enjoyment by playing this strategy, and might see plenty of success the more you play and experience this particular playstyle. I do hope that you may have gained the same from watching this video today. If you did, please consider pushing the subscribe and like buttons below, respectively, for future content from me and the other creators of this platform. While you are there, be sure to have a look at the Coalition of Scrubs official website in the description, where I post weekly D-Time videos on our Scrub logs. Thank you for watching, remember to have fun, and make your move. Peace out.
I'm a love giver.